Hey, what's going on everyone? In this video, I'm going to show you all how you can add rows dynamically to a table in your Word or PDF document while working with such files in Make.com. So this is the template and this is the output that we get. So the final output would be something like you can add how many ever rows you want to your table in Word document while working with Make.com automation. And we'll be achieving this result by using this specific module in Make.com, and I'll be showing you all exactly how you can do that. You can add like how many ever rows you want, how many ever columns you want, and it would be completely dynamic. So let's get started. So the first thing would be like, this is the template. The first step is going to be you import the blueprint that I'll be giving you all, which you can find down in the description. So once you import this blueprint, you just got to do the necessary changes that I'll be telling you, and you should have it set up and running. So this is going to be the first step. And the second step is set up your template. So your template should be set up exactly something like this. And let me show you how we can do that. So I'm currently in the Google Docs template section, and when I scroll down, I can find this one. So this is exactly what I've used before and be using right now to show you all for an example. So here's the template. So now how you got to set up this template is, let me close this. Let me delete both of these rows. And now we got to add the variables that we're going to use. So before that, let me go back to this specific document here. So we should be using this specific type of pattern or format or syntax to create the template, which means that this is inside this are going to be the array for how many of our rows that we're going to add. So I'll add it over here and show it to you all so that you understand. So I'll copy this right here. Put it in green. So I typed row number. So here you just got to see the exact syntax. We got to use a hash before. So you can give whatever name you want over here. You don't have to just say rows. You can give whatever name you want, but you got to follow this syntax. You got to say use this at the starting and this at the ending. So this is going to be, we're going to use star over here. And now we can just give it the name of like whatever this specific column is meant for. So this is meant for item number. So I'll say item number, and the next is going to be the quantity. So I can just directly type in the variables. I'll say quantity. For here I can say price, and for here I can say and the last one. So here comes the syntax. So at the last one also you got to mention this row number, which means that we're closing this. So the loop is going to be from this to this, right? So over here first let us say total, and now we got to close the syntax by using this specific. We got to close that. So just keep in mind that it should be exactly same as what is here. So I've said row number here. So here it should be row number. So it starts here and we end it here. So all these within these are going to be dynamic. So over here, let me say this is going to be total price. I'll just say total. So this is our template basically. So now let us go back to Make.com. So here you can see parse JSON. This is just like a, like a static data that I've taken just for the purpose of demonstrating the tutorial. But in reality, while you're using this, you would be having multiple number of rows that needs to be added. So that would be either like an array of rows just like this, or else you might have like multiple bundles. So in that case, if you're having an array, you just got to iterate it and then aggregate it. So now, for example, since we're having an array here, we're going to be iterating it. So link. So you can see that we are iterating it through each of these. So these are just dummy values that I've made ChatGPT to create it just for the purpose of showing you all how we can add it. So you can see that I've got the item number, quantity, price, total. And you can see I made a mistake here. So here I've got two totals over here, and here I've got a spelling mistake. I'll say total, and here I'll say net. This is net and this is total. Coming back. So let's assume that this is the value that your automation currently has to be created as a table. So now I've got item number, which would be this one, and I've got quantity, which is going to be the next one, and I've got price, and I've got total. I've got price and I've got total. That is exactly like this. So similarly, you might have your variables with different names and even different number of columns. Like you might have like 10 or 20. So based on that, the only change that you're going to be doing here is the change over here, the major change. So here, what we got to do is like it's said over here, you got to assign your columns. So currently I've already assigned it based on this template, but I'll demonstrate it with a real example. So here I've got item number. So you got to follow the exact syntax. You just got to change the item number over here and then just map it with whatever number is present over there. So let me see, I'll just delete it. Okay, so I deleted a few. So now we can see item number, which is already written. So is it exactly matching? Yeah, it is matching. Item number, and then I got to map it from the iterator. So item number, I've mapped it. Then we've got the quantity number. So is it exactly matching from here? Yeah, it is matching. So for example, let's assume that I delete the quantity number and make it just like quantity. Okay, I've just made it quantity. So now what I gotta do is I gotta make here 2 as quantity. So you just gotta match. You're just entering all your columns here, basically. That is it. So now for price, it is again exactly the same price. Total, it is exactly the same total. So now let me map the values. For quantity, I map the quantity here. And for the price, I map the price. For total, I map this one. So that is it, guys. So now the values are mapped. So let's say I've got a different column here. So let's assume that I'm adding a different, I'll say instead column to the right. So yeah, so we got a different column now. So now what we got to do is I'll say this is item name or maybe product name. So now again, we got to assign this a value. I mean, a variable, right? So here I could say product underscore name. I'll copy this. Go back here. Now you got to add your product name over here. So how you can, so now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So, but over here we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you just got to assign this product name. Which should match exactly this one. So for that, what I'm going to do right now is add a comma here. You just need to add a comma at the end over here and then just copy this specific value. Copy it, and right after comma, you can go to a new line and press Command V or Control V, paste it, and I'll just add it right like this. So now you can see I've just added another new column. So the key for this column is going to be, what is it? The product name, right? Yeah, it is product name. Product underscore name. Product underscore name. It should be exactly the same with this one. And what is going to be the value? And we don't have any value in this specific JSON. So maybe I'll try to add a value for each one of them. So I'll again say comma. And so here it doesn't matter like what name I give. We just got to map it because we're just mapping from here to the automation. So I'll say product and I'll say test 1. I'll just do it for all of these. I need to add a comma here. This product is going to be test 2, comma here. This product is going to be test 3. All right, so now we've got the product as well. So now what I can do is basically run this one. You can see we've got the product value, which we can map inside here right now. So now we've mapped all the columns inside this one. So the idea is very simple. So whatever columns or variables you've got here, let's say how many of columns you've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You just got to add all of them inside this. So let's say you've got an extra column. You just got to add a comma to the last one. Just see one after this bracket and add a comma over here. Go to a new line, then just copy these, paste it. That is it. And now you just got to change whatever the new column value is, new column name, and you can just map the value from the previous one. Yeah, so for now I'll not save it. I'll just get rid of that because we got the exact number of rows that are needed. So now we'll connect it. You don't have to change any of these because like I said, this has already been set up. You just got to change this as per your column. And the next change is going to be the template. So how your template is stored. So your template could be stored on a Google Drive, or it could be stored on Microsoft OneDrive, Dropbox, anywhere. So the only thing that we got to do is we just got to use like a download module to download that template and then give it to Microsoft Word templates. So in Microsoft Word template, again, you don't have to change anything. You just got to change the name of this one. You could see. So this one, the key is row over here. But what have we given here? We've set row number. So you just got to give the name of the array that you've given. So over there, I've set row number. I'm just giving it exactly the same. So apart from that, I'll say, okay, I'll just say save. So I'll come back to this later. So this specific part is only for adding dynamic. In the next few minutes, I'll cover how you can add the other variables, for example, this net, and change all these into variables. So going back. So now I think I could just say run once and see how this goes. Oh, I've just created this new template. So what I got to do here in my case is get the ID of this template, go back into the automation and put the ID here and see if it is getting downloaded. So it should get downloaded and give us the buffer data. So you could use Google Drive, OneDrive, like I said, anything, and just make sure that you're downloading that template. And once you download it, you just got to map it with this specific module. So you can also give it a name. So I've just set test. Let me say the current date. So you could add your name, whatever name you want, you could change it over here, and you need to change the key, and you just got to map it from the previous, from the previous template that you're downloading. So if you're using Google Drive, just make sure you map it with Google Drive. If you're using OneDrive, just do the same. So yeah, now I'll see run once and see how it goes. I'll go to web view link. And you could see that, you see, we've got everything added over here. So test 1 is quantity 3, price 100, total 300. So we'll go back here. Price 300. Yeah, price 100, 300. Yeah, it's 300, 300. Sorry about that. And here, oh, sorry, not this one. Oh yeah, this is the one that we just created. So it's 300, 300. You see, we're just basically able to add the rows over here. So now we're dynamically able to add the rows, like said. So let's say I want to add 4 rows over here. At the moment, I've only got 3 rows. Let's say I want to add a 4th row, for example. I'll just try to copy this, add a comma, paste it. Okay, I just pasted it. This is item number 3. I'll make this 4 and I'll make the test as 4. Let the other values just remain same. Yeah, the other values are just same. So now I've made it as 4 rows. And now when I run it, I should be able to see the 4th row. You could say I'm able to see the 4th row. I made it test 4 and this number 4, but I've left the quantity, price and total same. So it's just the same as number 3, 2, 250, 500. So that is it. That is literally it that you got to do for making it dynamic. Let's say now I'll just show you real quick. Insert column to the right. Let me add a different column saying, what should I say? I'll see something called this description, maybe. Yeah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be doing it over here. I should be doing it at the place. I should be doing it to the template. So where's our template? Yeah, here's the template. I should be doing it over here. I'll say description. I got to use this exact name. Let me go and assign this column here. This is where it says assign your column. So you got to do it here. So you got to do it exactly like how I said. Add a comma at the last. Add a comma, enter, copy this, copy the previous one, paste it. I can move it to a new line, add a space. It doesn't need to be formatted. You just make sure that there is no new lines like you can see here. There shouldn't be any spaces. Then it would become invalid JSON. So delete it. So let's say in case you run into any formatting errors, you get errors like source is not a valid JSON or something. I think you could, if you put into ChatGPT, it might help you. But for now, it is simple. You just got to copy, paste it. So now what name have I given there? Set description. I'll copy, paste it in the key. Okay, now I gotta map the description. So I don't have value for description at the moment. So let me add the description to here real quick. So again, I just gotta add a comma, copy this, paste it. Right, I guess I've added description test 1, 2, 3, 4. Not sure the formatting. Yeah, the formatting is right. So now we've got the description as well. So now I'll just run it with this one. And we should be able to map the description here. Yep, so we're able to map the description. I've also given the exact name. The name should be exact, once again matching it exactly here. So I think it's good. So now I'll say run once. You could see this is exactly what we wanted. Description 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is it. I mean, this is how you add dynamic rows to a table in a document. So if you want to add multiple columns, like said, you just got to add a column, go back here, come back here, assign your column here, just got to copy it, just add a comma here, copy the previous one. Don't copy the comma, copy the previous one and paste it. And now just add your key value, your column name here and map the value here. As simple as that. The column name is here. The value should be mapped here from the previous modules that way we get the data from. Yeah. So and at the last, every time over here when this one is getting closed in JSON, the last bracket or the last value wouldn't have comma. That is the format of JSON. So it might be easy to understand if you know what a JSON is, but if you don't know what JSON is, it is totally fine. So you could, if you just follow the exact steps that I did, which without messing with the comma, there you're not going to face any problem. So at the last, the point that I'm trying to make is at last there isn't going to be comma in JSON. So I think this is the best example. Yeah, you see for this last key value pair, there isn't a comma because this is the last data of this entire JSON collection, you see, and over here there is no comma. because this is the last value of this entire collection. Yeah, that is it. So if that seems confusing, I think you just need to follow the steps that I did and it'd be good. And in case you run into any formatting issues, just give it a ChatGPT and tell it to correct the format, and it would do a great job. So yeah, and the next part is adding, this value inside this. So I think right now we've not added any values here. So to add values here, you just got to copy this. It's called net. I need to go back here to this template, and I need to say add item. And under add item, you just got to say value. So previously it is loop or condition, because we are looping across each row, because now it is just a static single value, right? And now for the key, I'm going to say net, because that is what is mentioned in the template. Now you can map the values like whatever you're getting from the previous one. So I'll say 100. Okay, I'll just try it with this one. You see, we've got the value as 100. So now let me go back to the template. Yeah, this is the template. So now I can say, I can do the same thing for everything. So I can say, this is the customer underscore name. All right. You just got to copy it exactly, whatever's inside these brackets, copy it, go back here. And I'll say add item, value. It should be value always. I mean, it should be value while you're just mapping like a single value. So left for when it comes to rows, you just got to say loop or section. So here, customer name. So I'll just say Sanjay. So let me try to map couple other as well. I'll say here, okay, not there. Okay, I'll just make this as address line 1. This is going to be address line 2. So now I'll just copy it. Let's say 5th Avenue, and it's going to be value. I'll say address line 2. Just exactly. Oh, I think it's not exactly the same. I'll copy. Should match exactly with this one. Okay, yeah, there is a space in between. So now I'll say New York. All right. So now let me run this, and you should see that the final output should have the customer name, should have my name added, the address that I've given, along with other values. So now I'll go back here. You could see sales code. Oh, I think there's some problem with the address line 2. I guess I should have mismatched the name. Oh yeah, I've set address line 1 again. Should be address line 2. So I've made it address line 2, and I'll run it again. But I think the rest of all seems good, right? You see the total is 100. Prepared for Sanjit, and yeah, that is it. So if you can add how many other variables you want. So let's say you're changing the company name to, I'll go not here. You just need to add these brackets and then just copy this. Let's say if you're doing it for the company name, you just got to put it here, go scroll down, say value, put it here, and then just put the company name. Let me say Amazon, for example. So we've got Amazon. I mean, that is it, guys. So I think I've explained everything clearly. So the first thing would be create the template in the exact syntax that I've said you. You just got to add these hash at the starting. You just got to give this a row name. This row number should exactly match with whatever you're putting inside this. I'm sorry, inside this. It just needs to match with whatever you're putting inside this. And next, coming back, this item number, product name, all these are like from your rows, like the value of your columns. So, and at the last, you just got to use this syntax. So this is the row number. You just got to close it by opening, like having this bracket, this slash, and then say row number. So this is how you do it for these tables. And for this one, you just got to map it directly as values. So this one right here, it is just a placeholder. Like I've used like a dummy values. So let's say if you're having your rows inside an array, in that case, you can use an iterator. If not, let's say that they're all just different collection of bundles. So I'll make these into bundles right now. Oops. I guess I should add a square bracket here. Square bracket. Okay, so we got the right format, and you see that now it is not an array, it is different bundles right here. So if you're getting these as a different bundles, it means that you don't have to use an iterator. So you got to use this iterator only when there is an array. So now you can take the iterator out and directly connect it with this one right here. And what you could do now is just directly map it. So here, this is the item number. Here's the item number. I'll say item number, and here's the quantity. Here's the quantity. Here's the price. Here's the total. Here's the product, and here's the description. You see, now this itself is kind of like an iterator because it has multiple bundles. So now these both are gonna get connected, and there's no need for iterator. So you gotta use this only when there's an array. So here we don't have array, we've got direct bundles. So I've connected here, and now if I say run once, it should work perfectly fine. You see, it is exactly the same. So similarly, if let's say you want to add like placeholders for name, you want to add it for title, like however your template is, you can do that. This is very straightforward. So the only thing is when it comes to the table, you just got to keep that pattern just like how I've mentioned over here. I mean, where's that? Yeah, mentioned over here. And once the template is created, you just got to make sure that we only get the buffer data. So you got to upload it somewhere. You don't have to use Google Drive. You can use Dropbox, OneDrive, anything. So over here, let's say we're using like a different, Microsoft OneDrive or any other, let's say even if you're using a Google Drive, for example. So in that case, you can go to my Google Drive. I'll say download a file. And I'll just copy the file ID. I think anyhow the document is, both of these are inside the drive. So this doc is anyhow stored inside drive. So I think they should get downloaded here. You see, we get it. We're getting it downloaded. So once you map it over here, so let's say you're replacing it, you can just reference that template. So I reference it by the ID since it is going to be the same. So now I just got to open it, connect it with Google Drive, and at the top I just got to say Google Drive file, and you could just give it whatever name you want, and you could change this row number based on like whatever you've given here. And after that, add the other values, and once again it should be good. Yeah, so you don't have to always do this within Word documents only. Let's say you've got it in Microsoft Word. In that case, you could still export that Microsoft Word document and put it inside Google Drive. You can export it from Microsoft Word, put it inside Google Drive, and you could download it from Google Drive and still use it in the automation. So that is completely flexible on that regard. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. I think that is all I gotta say. So if you found this video helpful, please do leave a like. And if you've got any doubts, feel free to put it down in the comments. I'll make sure I answer them. So I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, bye-bye. Cheers.